There's a story that has been written yesterday in The Athletic that detailed a lot of things that at this point no one is ready to confirm nor deny, but nothing is official. There are contracts that have to be signed and things like that. So there's nothing official whatsoever. And I blame people with loose lips that sink ships, and usually it's agents that can't keep their mouth shut and want to curry favor with Andrew Marchand, and they call them and tell them exactly what's going on before it's actually going on.
Almost exactly.
Yeah, all the time. And Andrew does a great job milking them and getting that information from them. And if I ever ran a company, I'd be like Lou Lamoriello. Don, tell everybody what Lou Lamoriello used to do.
All right, we have a deal in principle.
Right.
If this gets leaked out, the deal is nixed. It's not happening.
Nixed. That's all. It's done. It's a dead deal. Now, it becomes a little bit weird. Like, if more than those two people know it, you can't blame that
good organizations make sure that the less people know, the better.
Anyway, it's being reported that the holiday show next week is, in fact, the last show of this iteration of the Michael Kay Show. And we could and will, in fact, confirm that that is the case. So after 22 years of Don and I together, and the last 9 joined by Peter, we've had an absolute blast. We do consider everyone that listens to this show an absolute family. I've gotten so many nice messages over the last day or so since the news broke. I've seen a lot of nice things on social media as well. You know, for a long time, we've been part of People's Afternoon, and it has meant the world to us. I never, ever had any aspirations to be a radio talk show host. Everybody knows my story. My big dream was to be the Yankee announcer, and I got to live that out. And this became an offshoot of that, and it's something that I have learned to absolutely adore. My time was running short on this kind of commitment every single day at my age, and with my kids, 10 and 11. Callie's going to be 12 on January 5th. I could not do this and the Yankees for a long time. Did I have maybe another year in me? Yes, but it's not fair to the company. They have to make long-term plans to, you know, we've got an afternoon show that's going to be on like you guys were just on for 22 years.
Right.
So, but I still love doing radio. So I am still going to be with the station. I am going to do a 2-hour show. The time of the show is still to be determined, but I will be doing a 2-hour show every Monday through Friday. So I'm not leaving. It's not the end of an era when it comes to me, and it's just the end of this iteration of this show, which has been on this station forever. But there is going to be a show that lives in this spot, and it's going to involve the two guys that are sitting with me right now, which I'm thrilled about.
Well, you and me both, brother. It's been an interesting period, and again, there'll be more clarity next week, but I'm super happy that we were able to figure things out. I wanted to be here. Obviously, this is a place that I've grown to love, and I love working with the guy sitting across from me, Don. You're pretty good too, Michael, but Don and I have an incredible respect for each other. We're super excited to do whatever comes next, and frankly, I'm not even just saying this. I've thought this the whole time, not to be a sap. Whatever ends up shaking out, I think it's a win for the listeners in that you're still going to have Peter, Michael, and Don on the air every single day for even more time now during the day. And to me, that feels like a lot of fun, Don. I love the idea of like us still being able to go back and forth across our shows, still having that camaraderie exist. Well, I'm super excited about it.
Well, hopefully we'll have more clarity by the time we do.
You hope.
The show next week, and we'll have plenty of time to say our goodbyes and all that. But the one thing I will say right now at this moment, to Michael's point about how difficult it's been for him to be able to juggle both of these gigs. And I remember we did the show 10 to 1 when the station first started, when the show first started back in July 15th of 2002, the show was 10 to 1. And the reason for that is Michael had baseball. And when the move was made, the show was so good. I'm not, this is not hyperbole. Well, we got to move this to afternoon drive. It's too good for 10 to 1. How are you going to make that happen when Michael's got a game? He's got to be on the air at 6:30. And in, what was it, Michael? Like in 05, like I guess early 05 was when we made the move. I didn't think it was going to work. I mean, how could it possibly work to Michael to be able to juggle that amount of time, to be on the air at 3 o'clock every day and then do games and West Coast games and then afternoon games and then jumping on the show in the middle? And made it work for 19 years. So, the fact that now it's not, I'm cool because we gave it 19 years more than Michael. I thought it was even possible. And they moved to the afternoon drive. I don't know how you felt about it. I'm like, how the hell are we going to make this work? It probably won't work for long. Eventually, Michael will say, this is too much for me. So credit to him. He made it work. We all made it work. It was awkward at times. But if Michael's got to do something else, we'll make that work too. So I'm looking forward to the future, as Peter said, because the future is very bright and no one's going anywhere. I mean, I look at this station as my baby. I was the first voice of it. So any kind of change is something that is going to be jarring, especially when you do the same thing in afternoon drive for 19 years and on the same show for 22. But it's all good, man. It's all good.
Before people get really down and out thinking about, next Friday's show, you have to understand, from the perspective of the three of us, it's going to be a happy show. Michael and I, we've been dealing with this for a long time. We didn't know what that next Friday show was going to be, Michael. All things considered, this is a pretty happy show next Friday. It didn't necessarily have to be that. So I feel pretty lucky and grateful that next Friday, kind of rather than be sad, we can celebrate what we've done together.
And so many of the texts from friends that I've gotten and some of the things on social media, is this what you wanted? Like, as if, it was a demotion. No, of course this is what, I mean, it's so much what I wanted that I'm committing to multiple years. And one of the reasons is I love being connected with ESPN and the people on the strictly radio side, Good Karma. I told Craig Karmazin and Steve Policino, who run the company, I wish I met you guys when I was 40, because they have such a clear vision of what they want to do, and they're so smart and so forward-thinking, and with the streaming and stuff like that and content, and that's why I'm hooking up for a couple more years. It's not just 1 year, so it's definitely what we all wanted. I'm sure Don and Peter wanted me out years ago.
True.
And, at times.
Sometimes. Yeah. And believe me, there were times that I said enough of these two, but we do love each other, and I think we've had a great time on the show. As Peter said, Friday's going to be a celebration, and we hope that as many people as could come out to Tommy's Tavern in Clifton. I hope that it's going to be it's not going to be sad. But if you are, and I've seen a lot of people on social media that are sad, and I would say this: don't be sad about the show ending in this iteration. Just be happy that we had the 22 years. How neat is that? It's Peter, you're a radio guy.
Yes.
It doesn't happen often anywhere for a show to last 22 years. No. I mean, and speaking only personally for myself and my experience here, the idea that Tim McCarthy and Justin Craig, and he's no longer with the company, Tim's no longer with the company, and this gentleman, Rob Savinelli, who was in the talent department at ESPN, when these people came to me and said, we have an idea to try this thing. Guys, do you know how often it works out when suits tell you we have a wacky idea? We're going to try something. We think it'll be great. Come on, I knew I'd do a good job. I knew I could handle this. The idea that the three of us would gel so well that you guys already had the show that I enjoyed as a listener, that I would listen when I was driving around New York, that we would then go to the highest heights with this show. It doesn't happen. You guys lasting together that long doesn't happen. Adding another person completely out of nowhere and thinking that'll gel, Don, that doesn't happen. Well, it didn't gel a couple of times.
Well, yeah, even still some days it doesn't gel. But to hit it at a 90% ratio and get to where the heights that we've gotten to and just had the fun that we've had, I really mean it. I don't think there's a lot to be sad about. I mean, like I said, if Michael had told us that next Friday he was retiring, that would really have made it a sad show. Or if I was no longer going to be with the station, Michael, I think that would have made it a really sad show. The fact that when we come out of the holidays, you're going to hear the three of us all still on this radio station together, whether it's in the same show or just as teammates, I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, so we wanted to, obviously our preference was that you would have heard it from us initially. But because, again, people with a big mouth actually leak things to Andrew Marchand. So, but, the lineup of the station, not ready to be announced. The times, not ready to be announced. But just know that the three of us remain. It's something that we wanted. And it has nothing to do, with my age. I'm 63. And it has become a little bit more fatiguing to do a show, ended at 6:22, and literally, Don's seen it, run in the portals of Yankee Stadium and run up to the booth and then tape the open that got to be a lot. But the reason I'm making this move is my show that I will be doing is earlier, and I want to see my kids grow up. I just do. At their age, I want to be home and out of work when they're out of school, so we can do things. I could coach maybe one of Charlie's teams, get involved more with Callie's stuff. So, yeah, I mean, to me, this is all I know. So people always go, I don't know how you've done it. And Don even said that. I've done it because it's all I know. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. That's all I know. And I've always been a person who likes to work. I don't shy away from work. So, yeah, age has made it more fatiguing, but it was certainly something that would have continued or could have continued in that way. But my family's really, really important to me. I got married late. And if I'm not going to be involved in their life, what did I do it for?
Right.
Why did I have kids?
Touche.
So,
Hey, listen, 3 to 7 or 3 to 6:30 or 4 to 7, all the different times that we've done this show, it comes right in the middle of the day. And I'm seeing it myself. You miss a lot. And Michael now, I think, at the age of 63, all the things that he has accomplished in his life, should be able to have a call on how he wants to do his work. So what's good for him, I'm good for it. We're going to figure out a way to make all of this work, and you're going to love the station as much as you did before. So we can't reveal too much, but knowing what we do know, it's going to be great.
I do want anyone who's concerned, though, to know that the show moving forward that Don and I will do in afternoons will be known as the Michael K. Show.
Right.
Yeah,
it was important to me.
Right.
We've agreed. So that means that now twice a day.
Yeah.
Earlier in the day, there will be a Michael K.
It'll
Show.
be called the early Michael K.
And
Show.
then later on, it's just
the late Michael.
The Michael K. Show. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, so you heard it from us. Again, we didn't give you many specifics other than the ones that count according to us, that pertain specifically to us. But we think we're very bullish on the future of this station. We're very bullish on Good Karma, who is guiding the station, and the people at ESPN, like Dave Roberts and Justin Craig, and they've made this all very easy.
Mike Voss.
Yeah, they've been tremendous.
Yeah.
They really have. So, and the guy who started this all, that first put me and Don together, Tim McCarthy, and then brought you on board as well. He was a big part of it. I think he helped build this station. And, I made my feelings known when he was part of the layoffs. I know he still cares a great deal about it as well. But you could thank him. If you like us, you could thank him because, his fingerprints are all over this.
Yeah. But, and of course, shout out to our current PD, John Winthrop.
No, I really don't want to shout him out.
I get it. I get it. But I think he does a good job.
Specifically.
Oh, that was an intentional political. Okay, I'd like to apologize.
Listen, John's been great.
No, John's tremendous, as far as he knows.
No, we're very. I love where I work.
Ryan Hurley, who's no longer with us.
Ryan Hurley.
Well, he's with us.
Joey Salvia.
Andrew Gunling.
RJ.
Gigi Clark.
I'm going to write the book at some point. That this whole concept was taking a chance. The whole station, especially with the monolith that was down the road, and to do the things that we've accomplished, I've never been prouder of anything in my life from a business standpoint. To be able to have the self-imposed a lot of times, but just the hurdles of being a neophyte radio station and then, jumping on board the afternoon drive and having the success that we've had. If you had told me on July 15th, 2002, and the reason I remember it so well is because it's my brother's birthday, that I'd be working with this guy for the next 22 years. And we'd be at each other's weddings, and we would see kids come into the world. I mean, you don't work that long with somebody without having it affect your life in some way. My kids refer to work as Michael K. Declan did too. You going to Michael K.?
And my mom
still thinks, listen, ask Michael for the day off tomorrow. Get some rest. I'm like, Michael doesn't have that power, Mom. But in a way you do, because that's kind of what my life's been for 22 years. I've been in this business, if I count sports phone, 32 years, and 22 of it's been working with you.
Well, I mean, I love Peter. But like Dorothy said,
do you love Peter?
In The Wizard of Oz? Dorothy said this in The Wizard of Oz to the Scarecrow. I look at Don and go, I'm going to miss you the most.
Aw, isn't that nice?
22 years.
That's a long time,
it's
man.
a long time.
You thought high school and college was long?
That's a great point. When you think about it like that, it's
almost a quarter of a century.
Wait, you guys did high school together 5 times.
Yeah.
First through all 4 years.
Right.
That's crazy. When you think about it in those terms,
well, think about
how many clicks these trips.
Wait a minute.
Oh my God.
I've been married since 05, so that's 19 years. You've been married what?
since
2011.
11, yeah.
So that's 13. So we've been married combined 32 years. And we were working together for 20.
And we spend more time with each other than we spent with Jody and Nancy combined.
Well, I don't think statistically that's correct, but I hear what you're saying.
In terms of straight time? I mean, how often do you spend 4 straight hours with Nancy?
Well, quite often. We are married.
I understand, but on different floors of the house, probably.
Well, I mean, what kind of relationship do you think they have?
Well, we spend at least, 6-7 hours together
In bed.
in the arms of Morpheus,
But
if you like to say.
you're sleeping, though.
I know, but we're together.
That still
No,
counts.
you're really together.
Fine, you're better than Nancy. Is that what you want?
No.
You're his real wife. Is that what you were looking for?
I'm his work wife.
That's
Let's put
right.
it that way. Let's go to Anthony in Long Island.
Anthony.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for taking my call today. A little sad, but not sad. You guys have been a big part of my life for a long time. I've been listening since 1947.
I love it.
And I just wanted to thank you guys. I've called a few times. I call the other shows, but you guys brought me into sports radio, and I just want to say thank you and congratulations. And let's get Don and Peter's name on the show. But I look forward to listening to you guys every day for a long time. Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say thank you.
Anthony. We appreciate that. That was very nice.
That was very nice.
I appreciate that.
There's a lot of people that chose to listen to us and have been listening to us for this long, Michael. So that means if they were 10 when they started listening to the show, getting driven back from school, say, because their dad or their mom listened to the show, they're 32 years old now, have kids of their own.
It's wild.
There was a guy who DM'd me on X.
Okay.
And it got me.
Emotionally.
Yeah. He said, I've been listening to you since I was 14. I'm 28 now. I know the big news is you're retiring. He sent this to me a week ago, which I'm not. Please, you can't leave us stranded like this. You must have a podcast once or twice a week. I had no father figure growing up.
Wow.
I stumbled across your show when I was young and lost. You're like a father figure to me.
Wow. You are getting emotional.
He said he would.
I didn't believe it.
And it goes on. So
Yeah.
You want me to read it?
No, it's just, he said, and your advice knowledge throughout the years made me who I am today.
Nice.
Pretty nice.
That's very sweet. I'm worried about the guy, personally.
He's going to be a great guy.
He's going to have horrible taste in food. I worry about some of those things, but that's very
But have a very, very active dating life, right? Don lived through it.
Yeah, very active dating life. Wow.
Don's always told me I was a better talk show host single.
Well, I think a lot of people are.
I probably was, too.
Because now we're humanized. Let's go to Rob in Sayreville. Rob.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Good. What's up?
Thanks for. Not much, Michael. I just had a couple quick things I wanted to say, and I wrote you guys a little something, an ode to the Michael K. Show, just real quick. But before I say it, I just wanted to first say thank you. I, too, have been listening to you guys for many years now. I traveled a whole bunch for work. You guys were always my ticket back to home. You guys were an anchor back to New Jersey, New York, where I grew up. So I wanted to say thank you for that. And then real quick, just an idea for next week. I think it'd be a good idea for you guys maybe do like a tournament of champions for the drops. And then on Friday on the last show, you maybe unveil the best drop of the Michael K. Show. Something along those lines. But maybe, let that idea sit. But I'll read this thing for you just for the sake of time. But I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
So, Michael, Don, Peter, the afternoon drive, where the sports talk is gold and the audience is high. From Michael's fourth grader appetite to Don's high blood pressure rants to Peter's ENNs offering news at a glance. Whether driving in traffic or out of state for work, TMKS was my ticket to New York. But sadly, all great runs must eventually go to bed. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, gentlemen. Now sniff them. Sniff them dead.
Good job, Rob.
That was very good.
Thank you, buddy.
A lot of what
I
makes
love
this
that.
show
That was
great.
very good.
By the way, I don't know if we do I know, Anthony, it's going to be too much to try to pull together an all-time Drop Madness is my guess.
Because I already know the number one in my head.
Well, the easy thing is all the winners.
Oh, yeah. You take the winner show from over the years.
Like that's
Or even the Final Four, like, take the fours or the...
Well, how many have we done? Like 6 or 7? How many Drop
I
Madnesses
think it might be...
have we had?
Yeah, that's a good question. 6 or
here
7.
are the winners.
We know!
Okay.
Firmly.
This garbage. Look at this garbage.
Okay, what else?
How many chances you get?
Yeah, it's a lot. You get the theme here.
Former Raven. Replied.
Yeah, so-
Or current Raven.
Oh, like the game doesn't need him.
Sorry, he's a Charger now.
He's a Charger.
Oh, no, he's a Ram.
A lot of people think that is it anyway.
I think I'm saying this right, Peter. Stench in Mamaroneck. You're on ESPN New York. How are you, sir?
Oh, hey, no, it's Bennett.
Finally, somebody broke the streak.
Thank you, my friend, and I will see you soon. Say hi to everybody.
Be well. You say hello too.
Okay, take care, Michael. It's Michael K. with me here.
But it was short-lived.
That was
No, Michael K.
That was the time to go.
That was really the moment.
That was the
His
time.
fat ass.
I should have stepped away.
That one? Cut his fat ass one?
Yep. As a 4 seed.
So how many do we have? So how many
That's
times
8?
did we do it?
8.
8. We
As
did
far as I
8
know,
of them.
8.
But the one I thought about was never eligible for Drop Madness.
Which is one.
Is the LT drop?
Oh, it was tremendous. That's the show. That's when, like they say, Seinfeld.
See,
this
to me,
is
that's
the show.
the one. That's the show. I don't know if you
No,
can
it's
find
doing well. We're well.
All right, bud. I'm having you.
That's it.
Yeah, that was English.
Oh, it's such a great moment. Now, but I was going to say this, though. Since I know an all-time full Drop Madness is probably not possible, but should we count down moments or something? Feels like next week we got to, relive moments as the week goes on,
No,
don't
we'll
we?
have the whole Soto thing. We won't be able to do any moments.
That's more appropriate. That really is the show. Ignore any important things that have happened about us.
We could everybody love Raymond. That just have a last show. That's it. Don't acknowledge it's the last show. Just
do a show.
Walk away as men. Ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? I respect that too.
1-800-919-3776 coming up in just a moment.